Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. This is Classic Hairs, and if you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share, show love to your friends. So into today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a flat closure wig. I divided this video into two, and the first part is to show you how to make your closure sit flat as a wig, and the second part is the install and styling. I know you will enjoy this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. Support your girl, please. All right, let's get started. Okay, so for today's weekend, we're going to be needing a canvas head, yeah, a dummy head. Then you have your cap. I'm using a spandex dome cap. Then you definitely need a thread and your needles. I've already threaded the needles. So yeah, then you need a scissors. Yes, you need a scissors, and definitely the hair you'll be working with together with the closure. Yep. Then we'll be using some clips. Let's dive right into it. The first part of this tutorial is how to get your closure to sit flat as a wig. So we're using a Kim K closure in today's tutorial. I'll take that again, 2 by 6. Yeah, see the measurement, 2 for the width, that's the wideness, and 6 for the length or the depth. 2 by 6. Yeah, so let's get started. The You wear your cap on the dummy head or a canvas head and pin the closure down onto the cap, the point you want it to be, especially at the middle, so that every other thing, that's the weave, is going through it, round it instead. So you want to secure that firmly. This is the point where you need to get it as flat as possible. You don't want to have any bumps. You don't want to have any parts that are standing. To secure this, I'm using the T-pins or the colored pins. You see it on the dummy head. I'll be using them interchangeably. So I'm making sure that the sides are flat. Look at that side, not sitting well. Then you place it down. Make sure that each of the sides are flat. Take the back, you see that rise at the back. Stretch it and pin. Yep. So we want it to be as flat as possible before we begin to thread, so that you don't have your closure being bumpy, it's not flat. You're trying to wear it and you're having bumps. So this is a very critical point when you're making your wigs. Try to get them as flat as possible. So when you do that, you have your needles that have been threaded. So let's start stitching.
Oh brother, where are you? Think I need a
So the first stitch, I prefer to do it from inside. Like, put your needle inside so that the knot you have created on the thread
Oh brother,
is not going
where
to
are
show
you?
on top
Think I need a
of your closure. Instead, it is going to show
Pick me
under.
up.
Let me bring that closer so that you can see it well.
but I can tell it's not where
Look
I
at
want
that
to be.
carefully. When you place it
Oh
on top
brother, help me out. Keep
and
your
then the
eye
needle passes under, your
Don't
knot
let me go
rests on
somewhere
top.
I can't find my way.
Pick from the cap and pass through the net of the closure, not close to the hair. Pick and draw it so that the knot you have is under. Then you pick the next one to create your first stitch. There you have it. Let's take it again. Watch carefully, this is slower. You pick, you pass through the net, then you draw, You are not knotting anything. The knot you've already created on the thread is what goes under. Then you pick from the cap to that point again on the lace. Yes, and that creates your first stitch on the cap for the closure. I hope this makes sense. So do the same thing very close. You don't want to give so much gap on the closure. You want it to be as flat as possible. You don't want it raising. So let it come together. Oh, bad. I have a knot there. So what you just do is take your needle, look for where it got tied up, draw it out carefully so that you don't waste the thread, and there you have it. Okay, this usually happens when the thread is very long. It can happen. So always tighten and then pick again and draw it out. You're simply having a flat closure. You're not knotting anything. You're just picking it, take from under, on top, then draw. Again, under, on top, draw out. Under, on top, draw out. That's just basically what's involved. Just keep going that way till you get to the top. So you just continue with the same process to the top, and you do the same to the other side. Because you already have it sitting flat, take it under, on top, and draw. Get that close look. Under, on top, then draw it out. I just loved the pattern it was giving me. You get to see it at the end. Under, on top, draw out. Yep. Look at that pattern. You will definitely have a flat closure with this. Try this method and you'll see how it works. So when you get to the top, you don't want to complete the other part like that has a curve. When you get to that top part, you stitch almost to the edge, and then there you have it. So at this point, you can keep your needle. You want to pick from the other side. The other side already has its own needle that you also kept on the way when you got to that same point before. So complete it from that angle. Basically what I'm doing here, the same process, under, on top, because if there is any way the closure wasn't flat on the two sides, where you have to correct any error is at this point, at the end point. That's why I like to take it from the two sides, then end it at the back. so that way you can have a really flat closure fix. The same thing happens if you're fixing it for someone and it's not a wig. You can still take it from the two sides and close it up at the back. So make sure to always use your pin to get it to sit where you want it to sit. You've watched this video up to this point and you're finding it helpful, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you be notified when I post a new video, especially the second part of this tutorial. So keep passing it, and now you notice we have two needles. When you get to a particular point, you can always pin down your needle and take again from the other side. Watch the space, very little. You don't want to give a wide gap between each stitch. So under, on top, under, on top, until you get to the point you have the other needle, because that's where you're going to be doing your last stitch. And remember, don't stitch close to the hair, the closure hair itself. Try to stitch on the base. So you cross your last stitch to the point where you have the other one and then cut. When you cut, you knot. Cut and knot. Okay, so when you do that, remember to cut off the excess thread. And there you have it. Yeah, there we have it. Very neat. Alright, I'm sure you learned something from today's tutorial. So this is how to get your closure to sit flat on a wig. The next part of this tutorial will be the full fix, and then you learn the other technique when you're fixing the weave, how not to affect the closure so that it doesn't get bumpy. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.